I'm Jay, welcome to the workshop, and today we're going to be talking about our new 10.2 inch Android head unit. Now, a tiny bit of background on why we've gone with such a big head unit. We were looking for a navigation solution for our off-road mapping. A lot of people have separate 8-inch, sometimes 10-inch tablets that they use with various applications to plot their off-road routes. However, I like a clean look inside our cab, so I didn't want anything up eye-line to the driver or down here that would have to look downwards to be able to see where I'm going. And normally we have our Garmin just up here, so I couldn't really put something here. So I stumbled upon these 10.2 inch Android head units. Now this one's from Dasaita? I don't know how to pronounce that, someone will probably tell me in the comments below. But essentially what this is a 10-inch tablet built into a radio. So it runs on Android, so any applications that you'd get on your normal tablet works on here. So we've got Spotify on here, we've also got Google Maps, but any other applications such as Gaia or similar off-road navigation apps, which I can't remember off the top of my head, will run on this. And although it's a Chinese company that makes these things, it's actually got some pretty decent hardware in there. It's got a PX6 chipset in there, which is not that bad of a processor for an Android tablet, and I believe it was 4 GB of RAM. So this thing's not going to slow down, hopefully, anytime soon. The screen is mounted on a ball tilt mount, so you can tilt it and rotate it however way you wish. Although, even though it does sit in a portrait mode, you can't activate a portrait mode for the screen, so that's pretty useless, to be fair. However, it does sit quite nicely as it should. So if you're installing one of these things in the Hilux, you can kind of see how much space it takes up from this example here. It does block the information screen here on this Hilux. However, a lot of the information you can actually get on the screen. Like I have a custom launcher here, which changes the look of the screen, and it shows me the current temperature and weather, which I normally have on the information display anyway. You still can get to the vent controls underneath your AC button and your hazard button, and as you can see, it actually fits in quite nicely with the dashboard. These lights here, which illuminate with the lights coming on and the display dims, you can customize that to the color of the vehicle lights, so I've gone with a very similar green to the Hilux. Now this is only a quick look, this is not an in-depth look. If you want more of an in-depth look, I will release a video later on. And an install guide I didn't bother doing because there's quite a lot of install videos on these things. However, it was supplied with the correct ISO harness. But the fitting inside the actual original Hilux brackets wasn't the best. So as you can see here, you can actually see the radio cage, so to speak, protruding at the dash. I'll probably just 3D print something up to hide that. If you got a proper mount, it would probably work a bit better, but for the time being, it's not too bad. So I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, on and off, and I haven't had any major problems. The radio does like to freeze on this screen for some particular reason. I think that's more to do with the screensaver that comes up. So that's why I normally keep it on my car launcher screen. The one thing that can put people off with these Android head units is the turning on time. The first initial boot up, a cold start, can take up to 30 seconds. As you can see now, once it turns itself off, it has a fast boot option. So once your power is on and you've activated that option in the menu, as soon as you put power to the radio, it's almost an instantaneous turn on. The main feature I like about this, about Android head units in general, is the fact that any Bluetooth device, or most Bluetooth devices should I say, which you can connect to your Android tablet, can connect to these. So for example, I have a Bluetooth OBD reader in the Hilux at the moment, and if I go to my apps and down to talk, I can get real-time information and fault coding straight on the Android head unit as it is right now. So, you know, for overlanding, for a very quick diagnostic of these newer vehicles, it's a brilliant feature. One little negative is if you're not very technology minded, this can be a bit of a pain to set up. It's not like a standard head unit where you have one setting menu. Each individual app will have its own settings, and there's some little quirks which I had to research and figure out what was going on. For example, every time I got a phone call through the Bluetooth, my ringtone would come through at max volume, and with the subwoofer we have behind the rear seats, it would almost blow the speakers apart. And what I found is what you had to do is you had to get someone to ring you, and while the ringtone was playing, turn the volume down. It then saves that ringtone volume for the next time, and the volume is set to where you want it to be set. So that was a very quick look at the Dacia 10.2 inch Android head unit. If you'd like more information on these things and why I think it's a great solution for the Overlander in mind, then I comment them down below, and I'll put some more videos up of these things, maybe some tips and tricks on how to use it. But until then, see you later.